And welcome back to Inside the Show. I'm Scuffy, he's Cougs, and we got, of course, a lot of things to talk about. We got the new program, we got multiple new events, headliners, and a whole bunch of other stuff that we're going to be covering today. But first, we got a gameplay update here, Cougs. We got a gameplay update last week, update number 6, and this was kind of expected. It was kind of expected. The reason why is they always put out an update before the first qualifier for a particular circuit. They did this the past 3 years now. I looked it up. I was like, and we've been asking the question, are we going to get an update? Are we going to get a hitting update? Are we going to get fixes to multiple bugs, whether that's co-op and other modes? And the answer was yes. So we got that, I believe, 2 days before. It was last Thursday or Wednesday. I forgot what particular day it was, but it was before the qualifier that happens on Saturday. And like I said, they did it in 20, they did it in 21, and now they did it in 22. So maybe this is like a future like template or what we see going the further in the future, that they will always have a gameplay update before a circuit and that or a qualifier that gets played. But anyway, let's go over the update. Could we say it's an update for hitting? That's the question. I
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Do we start out with this? All right, let's first off start out what the update did before we get into our feedback
Yeah.
already. I'll go over it real quick. So if you haven't seen it yet, or you just wasn't sure what the update entailed, here was general gameplay. Hitters will have slightly less foul ball coverage, resulting in more swing and misses. We see that. We're like, okay, this is positive. Fix a freeze that could occur on foul tips that bounce near the catcher. I've never seen that, and it's like the perfect that goes to be a foul tip in their data.
I
Yeah, I
remember
was like,
that.
I've never seen that happen. Users are now limited to pressing R2. Win has been turned off in online rated games. That's online rated. That's regular teams versus regular teams, not DD. That's already been off. Fix the issue that caused the can't pitch icon to become stuck on the screen. That's the R2 icon. On balls hit in the air where runners stop to see if it is landing or getting caught instead of going back to their previous base. Runners will now advance one base when the ball is clearly not going to be caught by the outfielder. Adjustments made to Jesper timing for splitters, sinkers when using pinpoint. Splitters now have a more lenient criteria for perfect pitchers, while sinkers now have a less lenient criteria for perfect pitchers. And then for Diamond Dynasty, fix the issues which allowed a pitcher to go into a position player slot in the lineup. Mini seasons fix bugs, co-op fix bugs and freezes. Ball player, if a user changes from a two-way to one player, the correct archetype would now be available in the loadout screen. And then minor improvements to franchise and March, October to two-way player logic. But the big topic and the big subject at hand is the general gameplay, right? It's the first bullet point they put into the update. And that is with the hitters will have slightly less foul ball coverage, resulting in more swing and misses. Now, Cougs, I think we both could agree, like, we've seen a lot of foul balls compared to previous years, even with the dynamic PCI addition to 22, that we are still seeing that. And to be honest with you, even after the gameplay update, it still feels the same. I
Yeah.
don't
I
know.
I haven't noticed a single difference. I like the update came out and I started playing a game, threw a curveball in the dirt, foul ball. Like it nothing seems to have changed. And I'm sure they have the data that says that it has actually changed, but it's always the same back and forth with what their data says versus what the hardcore players game to game experiences. It doesn't always seem to match up the way that they would like it to. Now, another thing on that is fixed an issue that would cause the can't pitch icon to become stuck on the screen. That
Mhm.
happened to me like yesterday. So that
Oh,
also it still hasn't seemed to be fixed. Um, and then the other thing I noticed here is about the R2 thing. Users are now limited to pressing R2 to view pitch types once per pitch for up to 3 seconds.
yep.
I don't I don't really
I
see
don't.
how that changes anything if you can still press R2 every single pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm. I think it's I think you just need to just show the data to the hitter, like, right there and let that fade out. Don't even
Yeah.
have R2. Just show it on the screen, let it fade out 2 seconds, and then you have your PCI, fill your anchor. Maybe just don't think you have enough time between pitches, but I think you do.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I felt like this update tried to go after a lot of things that people were frustrated about,
Mhm.
and I don't really think it worked. I can't really
Yeah.
say that this was a W of an update in my opinion, just based off foul balls still feel crazy. The R2 icons still got stuck on my screen literally yesterday, and um, the fact that you can still press R2 after every single pitch is also not really, I think, what people were looking for.
Yeah. I agree. And you know what was also weird? Like, we had this stream for the holiday program, which we'll get to. And the first thing they came out with with the statement from the gameplay team is, and this is now became a meme in the community, is where they said the engine is as intended as they see being played in the game. And it's just there's some disconnect I feel between I don't know if it's just because we're the loudest because we're on social media and we have the voice to preach out what we like and what we don't like. And maybe it's just a disconnect from there because we don't know how everyone else feels, whether that's casual or just people that are don't deal with social media or just other stuff. But still, it just feels like there's a little disconnect between us and the gameplay team on how we not see how the game should be played, but just like how we should expect the game play. Like, I feel like we just I don't know how to phrase it. Like, we need more transparency on how this engine should work, or just this is how they always intended to be, and they don't see it being any different than the way it is, and there's going to be no change going further. I don't know. I'm all over the place, and you could hear that right now or see it.
Yeah.
Like my mind is just turning when talking about this, just spitballing on this, and I just can't grasp my thoughts around this subject.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, SDS as a studio, they honestly they have to go off the greater data as a whole. And I think the issue is that people who are hardcore players and are on social media and are constantly talking about the state of the game, um, a lot of people feel like those numbers don't accurately reflect what their online experience actually is. And maybe it's up to those players to actually show what that data is, but right now it doesn't feel like it's a one-to-one representation of the online experience, especially at the higher levels. Now, once again, I still think yes, people have memed them saying that they feel like the hitting engine is working as intended. I've already seen
Yeah.
tons of like perfect outs, and then Twitch chats, 5 people,
Mhm.
oh, just working as intended, bro, like move over, or get over it. But I've said it a million times, and I'm going to keep saying it. I still think the issue is with the feedback. I still think that the feedback is way too confusing for people, and I
Uh-huh.
don't think it does a good job at translating what happened on that swing and why something happened. I just don't think it works because I've seen people, even today. I've squared up balls with guys with like really good power, all this stuff, and it's like, why is that ball not traveling? But this ball where I was completely off with the
Mhm.
PCI on a much weaker timing, like it's mind numbing when you start hyper focusing on that feedback. And I don't blame people for focusing on that feedback because that's what it's telling you in game. But I still do not think that feedback gives the right information for people. And I think it needs to be overhauled. And I've once again, I've said this a million times. I'm beating a dead horse,
Yeah.
but I genuinely think that's what the issue is versus the actual hitting engine itself. Because I'll be honest, maybe the hitting engine is working as intended. Maybe it really is.
Mhm.
But I don't think people are going to see that because of the way feedback is delivered to the player in that experience.
Yeah, and we seen them do a overhaul and feedback beforehand because I feel like we had this same conversation in 20,
Mhm.
and that was actually the big update before, the first circuit,
That's
that they
right,
did.
yeah.
They put the new feedback with the meter, and then, you see the bat go through the zone. I really don't even look at like, ever since we had Scan on the show, I
Yeah.
don't look, like, at the feedback for the PCI. I look at where did I hit it off the bat, and where is it between the meter, between good, late, and so on. And that kinda makes a little bit more sense to me when I look at that than I look at, where the ball at PCI, because I swear I hit one dead center, like, almost dead center with Mike Trout against a righty with 125 power in the circuit on Saturday, and I thought it should be like I was like, okay, what what's going on here?" And it was just a pop out.
Yeah.
So I do see the frustrations, and I see I and it even gets frustrated for me. It's at that point, and I will say, I'm a kind of guy that just goes along, plays the game, and tries not get too aggravated, but it's getting to that point for me
It's
because
hard.
it's very hard, because it's not just the foul balls, it's a way out of zone hits as well, and it just and then when you see bad user input get rewarded, it's not because that's not gonna happen in the game. I mean, bloops are gonna happen in the game no matter what. That's part of baseball, and even though it's a video game, are going to happen. But when you see it more and more and you don't get rewarded for your hits, it gets more frustrating as a user and it makes you not want to play the game.
Yep. And like you said, this is the same conversation we've had over and over and over again. We
Yeah.
talk about it every year. We talk about it when the feature premiere drops. We talk about it when the game drops and we're looking for patches and updates. Like once again, it just feels like there's a disconnect between the gameplay team and the actual community that plays the game because this is not just a conversation that started right now. This has been a conversation that we've had for years and years and years. And once again, I still think it's the feedback. I don't know if something is going to be changed there, but
Mhm.
it's like you said, bloops are going to happen. I'm honestly, I'm totally okay giving up a handful of blue hits every game
Yeah.
as long as those aren't the ones dictating the games a lot of the
Yeah.
time. And let
Mhm.
me be clear for all the that's just baseball, this is a baseball video game, all this stuff. Every once in a while, a blue pit can decide the outcome of a game. 100%, no question about it. But when it happens as consistently as it does, and when we're playing so many more games, it gets aggravating. It gets mind numbing to look at that feedback and just be frustrated after every single swing or every single at bat. It's just not a good it's not a great experience right now. And I'm with you.
If
I
yeah.
I don't try to hyper focus on the feedback. I don't try to look at it and break down every single swing. And exactly like you said, ever since Scan came on, I've started reading the feedback from right to left versus left to right. I look at the
Mhm.
the swing path before I look at anything involving my PCI because that to me makes way more sense. Now, when you have a good swing path and then you look at the PCI and the PCI is also like centered up and it's still just a weird little shallow flyout, then that's when you get frustrated. But like I feel like it's not giving you the information that you need.
Yeah. I'm also curious, I don't know if you know more about this, but what does the pitching attributes have effect for hitting as well? We know about the H per nines, and we know when they had the home runs per nine, and that had a big effect to the game, which is no longer, I believe, it's no longer inside the game anymore. I kind of want to know more information on the pitching side thing on how it affects hitting for that particular at bat. I guess I don't know how you would display that. I don't know if it's where, say, say I've had Trout, like, that has 125 power. However, I'm facing someone that has very good H per nines, would it show the attributes of what it really is when facing that pitcher? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a way. I feel like there's another thing that needs to go into is the pitcher. Like, how good is that pitcher?
Yeah.
And how does that affect? And I feel like that's more blind Like, we're blinded to that unless you really dig deep, unless you pause the game, look at the pitcher, look at the quirks. But when you look on the screen, we get the attributes for the hitter, right? But we don't
Yep.
really get the graphs of the pitcher that's out there. And I think that could be another disconnect. And that's something that I would love to see that comes in the game. I just don't know how visually you will give that to a user on the UI, but something to think about.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's actually a really good point to make is because a lot of people, they only look at the power of the hitter. They only look at the things that they have the control over. Whereas, like you said, the pitcher, the hits per nine, the stamina, the confidence, all of that stuff matters too. But at the same time, when it's a perfectly squared ball in the middle of the PCI, yeah, I think you got to give the batter the benefit of the doubt on that because a pitcher can make a perfect pitch, but a batter can also make a perfect swing. He can also put up a perfect swing and hit the ball well, even if it's a pitch that's located perfectly. So I see both sides of that for sure. And
Yeah.
once again, I don't know how they give us all that information in such a short amount of time because like they try to give us a lot of information pitch to pitch, but there's only so much time between pitches
Yeah.
that like you can only give people so much information to process. So I don't know how they would do it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. I guess I don't know. But yeah, that is the game update. They indicated that they're due their data once again. I don't know how maybe that's a week or two. I say about 2 weeks or even three before we probably see another gameplay update.
Another
To do their
billion
research.
swings.
Yeah, no billion swings. That we're probably gonna have to do. But hey, that's here. We'll find out. We'll find out when that time comes, and we'll discuss it on the next whenever that comes out on the episode. Um,
Let's talk about some fun stuff though now,
yeah,
Scuffy.
let's go to hey, we got a new legend,
We
new big
do.
legend. Like this is like a huge legend, and we kind of already knew that was coming last week, and it did in fact to be it, the doc Roy Halladay making his way to MLB show and Cougs. I mean, this is a 5 out of 5. I mean, if we're going to
Yeah.
rate, this is easily 5 out of 5. This is a legend that you typically see hyped up before the game to get you buy a copy. And
Absolutely.
we get it a month, well, almost 2 months in. So that's a big win. And he gets his own program. The more, uh, let me ask you, and that'll give you my opinion. The more I know, I just can't, I have to let it out. The more I see it to be a 2 week program, I'm more okay with it. Is
Okay.
it weird? Because at first I was like, oh, 2 week program. We're getting these so more in cards, but it's just this one boss. I'm fine with it. You know why I'm fine with it? Because I could buy Roy Halladay for 30K and not do the program.
Absolutely. Yeah. There you go, Scuffy. See, you know your priorities. You know where you stand, which is great. No, yeah, I think 2 weeks is cool, honestly. Especially because, like you said, it's one boss, so everybody's getting the same guy. It's not like the spring cleanup program where you choose two of five. Everybody gets the same guy, so he's gonna be a little bit cheaper just because there's no variety. But yeah, I'm okay with the 2 week program. I don't mind it. I
Yeah.
actually think the way they did it was really good with giving us it's almost like a very grand evolution program because you start from the
Yeah.
bronze Roy Halladay and you get all the way up to the 95 overall postseason one at 200,000 XP. And, they're going to give out, I think, a showdown later this week. I'm sure they're going to add more moments, all that stuff. And it's he's going to be easy enough to get if you just put a little bit of time into the game. If you complete the conquest map, you do a couple missions, do the moments, like before you know it, you're going to be creeping up on the 200,000 XP to get Roy Halladay. So overall, I actually think they did a really good job with this program. However, in the future, if they do more programs where it's a one player reward, it's a 2 week program, whatever,
Mhm.
they have to make sure that the program boss is worth it. And I do think
Yeah.
Roy Halladay is worth it. I think he's a good pitcher. He has higher hits per nine than Randy Johnson on his base card. So I think he's good. Plus, the pitch mix is very solid. But in the future, you have to make sure that that guy who's at 200,000 XP or whatever it is worth it for the people that are going to do that program. You can't throw a dud in there. You can't have somebody that not a lot of people are going to get excited for. If everybody's getting the same card, it's got to be somebody solid.
Yeah. and they did with new legend. And like I said, this is a 5 out of 5 legend, so that was, hey, I love it. Even though it's basically like a Phillies program when I'm a Met fan, like, I'm not gonna be able to use the other cards. I'm happy they snuck, a gold, Carlos Delgado in there, but beside I mean, but me as a Phillies I mean, not as a Mets fan, I'm not gonna really use all the other players, but for other everyone else, I mean, get a top this is a top 5 pitcher that you get in the game right here, right now by just grinding, or if you're like me, buy off the market, which I actually did. I bought off the market on actually Saturday. I didn't buy them for 30. I actually bought them for like 65, to be honest with you. And the reason was because I decided to play in the qualifier. We talked about this last week. We with having Rofo and Sporer on, and the qualifiers started this Saturday, and they go through the next couple of weeks, and then the grand finale is on the 18th and 19th of June. And hey, Cougs, I gotta say, this new format in the summer circuit, hey, I'm digging it. For me personally, I'm very digging it, and the reason why is last year or the years past, you had the Swiss pool format where you played one game, you waited, and then you get matched up with someone else that's your record. So, say if you're 2-0, you're going once for your game number 3, you're going to look for someone that's who else is 2-0, but you have to wait until the next round starts, which could take about hour to maybe hour and a half because you gotta wait until all games get played for the first round in order to get the matchup. However, now since moving to ESL to Battlefy, Battlefy has a mechanism of doing a ladder format. What does that mean? It's pretty much you queue for 8 hours and you play as many games as you want within that 8 hours, and I tell you, I started at 12 when it's 12 Eastern when it started. I got 7 games in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, almost 3, I would say, because the games were instant. Once I was done the game, find a game, you ready it up, you send your opponent your PSN or Xbox name, match up, play, report score, and then go to the next game. Um, I'm gonna say, Cougs, if you had doubts before, like, with the previous formats, the way it was by waiting around and just not doing anything, this is a complete 180, complete action, like, nonstop action, gets you if you have a competitive like, you want something competitive out of this game, this is what you do. Even if you don't feel like you're gonna make it to second day, which I don't. I just want that competitive this is what I'm missing from ranked, right? I love the BR, even though this is 3 innings too, but I wanna use the high diamonds in my lineup and have that competitive feel. This gave it to me. And even though that I know I won't make it to day 2, I'm still gonna play these Saturdays just to get that feeling and play on these 3 inning games at the highest level on Legend, and it's been a blast. I really had fun this last Saturday.
Sweet, it's great to hear. I think that was the biggest thing in past years that kind of stopped me from even playing in the qualifiers because, in MLB 19 they added the first tournament that they ever did. I played in that. It was a lot of fun, but those Saturdays where you had to sit there for 6-7 hours to play like what 5 3 inning games, 6 3 inning games, something like that. There was just so much time between them. That really was a
Mhm.
turnoff for a lot of people. Now I powered through it and I ended up having a nice little run in one of the tournaments. But I just knew after that one, the next year, I wasn't going to do that again. So the fact that you're telling me that the structure is very solid and um, it's more friendly to the player's time is huge. I mean, that's
Yeah.
me. Like I said, is the biggest thing that held me back from even playing. Now, unfortunately, I won't be home this Saturday. But honestly, maybe next Saturday, maybe I give it a shot. I don't know. It
I
depends. See what
would.
I'm doing, but I kind of am interested now.
Yeah, I hey, and it was on Legend. This is literally it's funny because Saturday was the first time I played a Legend this year.
Yeah.
Um, and before that, when I was playing Hall of Fame games, I'm playing with my All Bronze squad, so I don't really get a feel. And I surprised myself. I really did. First 6 games, 5-1. I was like, all
Okay.
right, okay. I guess I could compete on Legend, which I never thought I could. I know what I had to do in order to compete. Like, I really had to read the releases of the pitchers, because my reaction time is not the greatest, but from doing that, I was able to, actually hit. I was, like, very surprised. I can't the Marte, um, has been a godsend, the 93, and then Trout came up huge for me as well,
Of
and
course,
so
as he
on.
does.
Yeah, yeah, it is just amazing, and I'm trying to think who else that did good for me. Devin Williams did good for me. I used the Roy Halladay. That's what I meant to say. I used the Roy Halladay in the qualifier. That's what I meant to transition to, and I finally get to. So yeah, I tried out the Roy Halladay, and he did me so because I think everyone was expecting Randy, because you see Randy a lot with everyone having 99 Randy. I went the other. I don't have Randy, but I feel like a lot of people were expecting a lefty, to build their lineup round. So I put in Roy, and Roy was dealing for me. You really
Pretty
had
smart.
to you really had to mix his splitter, I realized, because a lot of people still expect a cutter and sinker. If you mix up his splitter and then mix up with his, cutter and sinker, and then on occasion, rare occasion, throw his four seam, you'll get people all messed up. I didn't really like his curveball. His curveball kinda just it felt flat to me, um, but I really dig the card. I really did. The one suggestion I do wanna make for these qualifiers, I kinda wish they were capped for games, where you got, like, say, maybe 15 games in this 8-hour period, 'cause I don't know if everyone's gonna be able to play 8 hours straight,
Mm.
um, and go off, like, strength of schedule or run differential or something like that, but that's just a nitpick of mine. Regardless, I thought it was a big win, and I think a lot of community members that did play really dig the new format as well.
Yeah,
So,
I like I said, I didn't get much of a chance to really watch. I had a lot of stuff going on this weekend, but from everything I heard and read on social media about the tournament, everybody was saying it was a big improvement. And so, hey, major shout out to the esports team over at MLB right now. I think it's
yep,
Leah, and I'm not sure who else is running things over there, but if this is what we're in store for, if this is how tournaments are structured going forward, I think you guys have got a really nice foundation and we can only improve on it. And if we go back to what we had in the last podcast talking to Roflo and Sporer about the possibilities of MLB esports in the future, I think the future is bright.
yep. Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. So, and then to conclude the talk, we had a Weens Kreiner in in the
Wasn't that a first round?
first round of day two. How spoiled are we? It was a great game. It was 7-4. Weens won, and then Weens went on to win it all. The first qualifier against BMAC in the finals. Shout out to Kyle. Kyle made a Final Four push in the qualifier. He did really good. Chev did really good. Um, and we'll see a lot more. We'll see Kreiner back next week. So,
Oh yeah.
uh, I expect him to qualify for the finals next week and then go from there. But yeah, it was a fun weekend. And shout out to Thune. Thune did 8 hours both days on Saturday, Sunday, commentating, and he's one of the guys that I don't know where he gets his energy from, man. It's just he from the start of commentating to the end, he brings the same energy throughout every single second, and it keeps the viewers engaged. He keeps the it brings it really he brings a great just a
Just
great
great
way
energy.
to commentate. Yeah, great energy, great way to commentate a game. So shout out to Tunu there. So
Yeah,
but yeah.
and you can tell how passionate he is about this stuff
Oh
too. Like
yeah. Oh yeah.
that's not anybody can do that. Not a lot of people are
No.
built for that type of that type of casting, and he
Yeah.
absolutely knocks it out of the park. So
You know
hey,
what?
Thune, we love you, man.
Yeah, it's on the last note, he brings the esports aspect of commentating to MLB show. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
there's a certain, like, how to broadcast in esports, and he does it now 100%. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes throughout, the next qualifiers, and, make sure to tune in twitch.tv through any I think it's 4 U's. You'll find him. He'll be up there.
Yes, you will.
Anyway, well, we still got a lot more content to talk about, and
Yes, we
that
do.
also talks about we got the Always Intense pack, that came out of blue. I believe they started with the base round on Sunday or Monday, where we got a couple new cards there, and then go into the rare round. I'll go over these cards real quick, and then we'll get our initial feedback. And let me get to that right here, right now. So our base was rookie year Will Myers. It was Milestone Juan Pierre for his 600 stolen base club, Prime Brad Hand, a Prime Al Leiter, and then a second half, once again, another second half card with Matt Chapman. Those were the base. And then for the rare, we got Signature Series, Tom Glavine, All Star Year, 2018, Mookie Betts, and then Gold Glove from last year, Brandon Crawford. All around, Cougs, I thought this is probably the most solid pack we had so far.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, it's the best pack we've had so far. Because you just take the base round alone, there's great
Yeah,
value there. Matt Chapman is very solid. I like his swing a lot. Al Leiter, I don't think we got like a lower overall Al Leiter last year. I know we had, I think, a gold, but once his, what was it, a perfect game no hitter card came out
no
in
hitter. Yep.
as a I think it was a BR reward.
Yeah.
That was kind of it from there. So a lower overall Al Leiter with a solid pitch mix as another lefty. He looked pretty good. Like that that pack has a lot of value. Now, I don't know if I'd recommend buying the pack for 30K,
No.
considering what the base round guys go for. But hey, if you get lucky, you could triple your stubs with that rare round. And honestly, it's kind of a tough decision if you even want to sell the guys in the rare round because I think all three of them are like top of the line at their position.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm still gonna give a shout out to the Will Myers card. That's one of the most balanced cards that you could get,
Yep.
just based off his attributes. So I really love his swing, so it's good to see him have a good card. But
And
yeah, like
and
you said,
it's an affordable awards card too.
yes.
So
Yeah,
make
that's
sure to
true.
keep your eye on that for collections.
Yep, good call on that. And like you said, I'm going to piggyback what you said about the rare round. There's no bad choice. Once I saw the Brandon Crawford being the because we saw his finest card last year was his 2021 endgame card. I expected the power to be a little bit down, especially being 95, and it was exactly where I thought it'd be. And he's one of those cards that you don't really have to pay attention to his attributes, like, because he'll play above his attributes. There's always these cards that'll just play above his attributes, and he's always one of them.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if it's the swing or what, but there's just some players where it feels like you could have 20 power and the ball just
yeah,
jumps off their bat
it just
differently. It just
it's
is what it
weird,
is.
man. Yep, but, I love the addition to the pack. I'm sure we'll get set 1, set 2, set 3, eventually, and then we go over there. But how about it's just the always intense, just the name of the pack kinda caught me off guard. I don't know
I
why.
love it. Well,
Uh
didn't they? Wasn't he's the always intense Matt Chapman? Is that the thing?
I guess so, yeah, that makes sense. But you would think
Yeah,
he would be the rare round then. Like, give him
you would
rare round on
think.
that.
I mean, and they could have done it. They could have given him another flashback, but there's still room for Matt Chapman to get a better card down the line for
Al
sure.
Leiter is pretty intense too, even though he's, like, the
Yeah,
nicest guy, but when he's on the mound, I mean, this is screaming if they put this, like, down, like, if this continues where 99 is, this is where, like, Max Scherzer be, like, the ultimate rare or like,
yeah, for real.
rare for this pack because just the way he is, um, on the mound, so I don't know. Either way, solid win-win, for those packs, and then we got other tops down cards. We got Pat Mazika, a Met, the 3rd string, I guess I call him 3rd string, catcher, for the Mets getting, 88 tops now. We got Luis Barrera, from the A's getting 80. These are all 88 except for the Josh Naylor, who got 90. For his 8 RBI game, we saw him got supercharged, so now you got a top sound card, and then Gavin Lux also got a top sound card. And remember, you're gonna need these for the May monthly reward, especially if you want that lightning card. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you do it. But yeah, so far
Yeah,
so good. We got a lot of stuff.
a lot
Um,
of good stuff.
I'm really digging the Pat Mazika card just for he's like a journeyman. So
Yeah.
it's funny because this game, if the Mets were blowing it, like we had a 5, I think it was a 5-2 lead. And then one of the Mets killers right now is Jesse Winker. We had this whole situation back when he was a Cincinnati Red, where I think he caught a ball or out number 3, and then he waved to the fans goodbye because it's out number 3 of the final game. Like, he's one of those Met killers, like, villains that gets along with the fans. He
Yeah.
even said,
He
like, in
plays
the
into it.
interview, yeah, he's into it, and he plays it off well, so it's all fun and games, and then in this game, he had a 3-run shot to tie up the game at 5, and then Pat Mazeika, first pitch against Andrew Muniz, who throws, like, up to 100. He's not known for be a home run hitter, he just takes a first pitch and hits a go ahead home run, and it was great to see as a Met fan, and last year, he had these random walk-offs as well, like a fielder's choice walk-off. It was like a swinging bunt, type of thing, and now he gets a 88, diamond overall card. This is without a doubt the highest card he'll probably ever get in MLB show history,
Yeah.
throughout his playing career, so it's always this is what Topps Now does. That's why I'm trying to get to the point where, like, this is why I love Topps Now, where we get these random cards that you just don't really see, getting love, and they get love like this.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Tops Now is a great place for that, but I can't help but be a little disappointed, Scuffy,
Oh, yeah, I
because
forgot about this.
Tops put out an Albert Pujols pitching Tops Now card, and MLB The Show didn't grab it and put it in the game. Come on, it doesn't have
I
to be a diamond. Make it a silver like Rizzo last year.
Yeah, I have a theory. They're going to put it in a BR program later this year.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think it would be a good enough card to justify that silver round though, or that bronze
Oh,
round?
we'll go nuts about it. Come on now.
I get we'll go nuts, but will it be good? That's the
No,
thing.
no, it'll be Anthony Rizzo, but then he'll
But
have the power.
Rizzo was kind of like you could work it with Rizzo a little bit.
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
they'll have some
Yeah.
fun with it. I don't know. Who
Yeah,
knows?
we'll see. We'll see.
But
Either way,
I
I'm
feel like,
disappointed that it wasn't there.
yeah. And then Molina actually pitched, I think, last night or the night before,
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
and they both have the same ERA. It's like 36.00 or something. So,
So
one of
neither
them is
one of
gonna
them
have
are
to pitch
going in
later.
the hall as a pitcher. You know that.
No. But one of them needs to pitch, or both of them need to pitch at least one more time to see who has the lower ERA throughout the season.
That's
There's no,
true. It
like,
needs to
low
be
thing.
like a storyline.
It's like you have the home run chase, now you have the ERA chase between Pujols and Molina for
Need it. Need it.
last year. Let's go. Um, we got also some new headliners. We got the Ralph Kiner from last week. 94. Hey, if you need some power off your bench, that he'll be your guy. His fielding is always never the greatest, but you always have some contact and pop. And then we have one being released tomorrow or today, if you're listening to this, and that's the Prime Jared Weaver, which perfect time once again to release this card. I'm very curious the velocity differences between his pitches. That's going to be the
Yeah.
key on if he's be usable or not.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. I don't really anticipate Jared Weaver being like a dog. I don't anticipate him being at the top of anybody's rotation, really. Like maybe if you like his pitches and you can kind of sequence and mess with some timing, he could be solid, but I don't anticipate that really. But as an Angels fan, I'm excited to be able to use him and have a good version of him for sure. What I thought was interesting though was on Twitter they revealed the card and it's a prime card, but they used the same card art as his gold card. Like
Yeah,
the same card art, but then they changed it. They changed the card art to be a different one. I don't know if that was because of the community kind of saying it felt lazy or whatever, but they did change it. So now it's a different Jared Weaver and it's a prime card. It still opens up the door to us getting his no-hitter card later on in the year at some point.
yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, and
I
there's no
forgot he
way they
pitched
don't
no
bring
hitters.
that card out, especially, like Al Leiter. Al Leiter's got that prime card now. Like we're still probably going to get the no-hitter Al Leiter at some point too.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm all for it. But yeah, I mean, they're releasing cards when they need to release them. So we've been saying we sound like a broken record now. They've been doing a fantastic job on that. And they're continuing to. And speaking of that, the new event or the the event that came out with the program, the Docs Clinton event, that and Aaron Nola, budget beast right there, I think.
Very solid card, 100%.
I thought it was kinda better than the Paul Molitor card.
No, agreed.
Once once again, and we had that situation with Wade Boggs and Johnny Bench, where we thought they could flip, and I think the same thing. The 12 wins, um, gets you Paul Molitor. I forgot how many wins gets you, Aaron Nola, but should be,
Yeah, I
it's
think
about,
it's like 10 and 15 or 12
yeah,
and 15 or something like that.
somewhere around there. So yeah, we got that, and then we have a new event coming out tomorrow, and we got another Takahashi card with Trevor Hoffman, being 93 overall. So they're
I'm
continuing
really
with that.
happy. I'm really happy they're releasing those Takashi
Just
cards more
continue. Yep.
regularly. I really thought for a second there that we were just going to stop at the 5 ones you get at the beginning of the year, but I'm so happy they've put out more cards. I don't know if they had a bunch of these cards like made beforehand or if they saw the community reaction to how much people like these cards and then they commissioned him to do more, but whatever it is, man, keep them coming. I want to see 99 overall Takashi cards in endgame lineups, 100%.
Oh yeah, hands down. I mean, I think a lot of people will still be using Call of Gala throughout the year.
100%.
I don't think
Very
he's going
much.
anywhere. He's going to be. It's funny. I bought him off the market for the circuit on Saturday. Didn't even use him.
Really?
Decided not to use him. Yeah, I found a lineup that I really liked, and I first had him, but then I was thinking Randy, right? Randy, it really was. Randy was on my mind of making my lineup, because I
That's
just
true.
didn't want to do lefty lefty with him. But I need to give him full try eventually when Randy is not gonna be the main guy being used.
Yeah.
Uh, so, yeah, I see him being part of my lineup, especially when theme teams comes around. I mean, he's gonna be Mets, Marlins, Blue Jays, you name it. They're gonna be there.
And him with Roy Halladay. I mean, look at the Phillies all-time team this year, by the way. Like speaking of theme
Oh
teams,
my,
the
they got a
Phillies.
whole program for themselves.
I know the Phillies, man. They have been getting kind of screwed with their legends. I mean, it's been like Robin Roberts and what
Yeah,
Richie Ashburn. Like those have been kind of
yeah,
their big names. But now they've got Roy Halladay, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard. We've got a good Cole Hamels. We've got like there's the Phillies all time team. Plus, we don't even have a good Jimmy Rollins yet. Like they
no.
they finally are getting the love they deserve.
Yeah, and they even hinted that we should probably see Cliff Lee and Jamie Rollins pop up very soon. I
Yeah,
don't think
I
we've seen
wouldn't be
that yet,
shocked.
but it should be sometime before the program ends. So they're even going, yeah, you could really build up a nice Phillies team just now,
Mhm.
which is absolutely insane. I mean, Hamels came out too. It's jeez. Um,
Oswalt.
yeah, it's like where's the Mets love, man? Braves get love beforehand. I
They'll
mean,
get
I
theirs. They've already
they'll get
got
there,
Gary
but
Carter. We got live series
oh yeah,
DeGrom. We
Gary
got
Carter.
Tom Seaver.
We just
Come
got
on.
lighter. We got lighter. I can't be upset. I was just being picky. But yeah, it was a solid week of content. I'm not gonna lie. And then we got some supercharged cards on top of that. Dude, that story that came out.
Yeah.
Now they're boosting up the superchargers to 95. I mean, before then they were like 92. Now they're boosting up to 95. Now they're getting like, okay, these cards are going to be um
Well,
pretty damn juiced. That we're going to get 99s for supercharge eventually.
I think was it Martin Perez? He threw like a
Yes,
complete
Martinez
game
Perez.
shutout. I think didn't he go up to a
Almost Matic.
97?
No, it was a 95. I had him on my
95?
bronze squad. Yeah. I didn't really like him, but, that's here and there, but yeah, it was a 95.
Okay. But yeah, no, they're gonna keep going up.
Yeah, but yeah, that story came out, and there were some people that were using it's funny, now with Supercharged being a thing, people were using them in the qualifiers, just like the day of, like, "Hey, I got this 95 plus card, I don't have another 95 card. Let me put Trevor Story in here and, bounce that out a little bit." So I thought that was fantastic, just to see that being another phase. However, that's another thing I'm going to kinda nitpick, and you brought it up before, um, I kinda wish they didn't go base on the base overalls, with not the ba I kinda they just went with the base overalls, not with the parallel or the inside edge, but we talked about this last week. And yeah, I'm with you, Cougs. I kind of wish they just go whatever overall they are, they are. Um, and you get to play them because now I even see Ochev's tweet earlier today. He can't play with his Marte or Ernie Banks because he wants to save them for the grand finals.
Yeah.
Because if he starts playing with them, he's going to power them up and they're going to go higher overall. That's kind of sucks, man.
Yeah, that really sucks. I think
Yeah.
that's I think for the I don't think they can do it for this circuit because
Mm.
it's already started, but maybe for the next one, I wouldn't be opposed to them tweaking that rule at all. I really wouldn't. Yeah, sure. Is it going to give some people an advantage? Sure, but you're
Yeah.
giving the advantage to people that have put hours and hours into the game, and those are the people that are probably going to be there at the end of the tournament regardless. So I don't really see how it makes much of a difference.
Yeah. I would say parallels. Um, or inside edge shouldn't matter, but supercharge would because supercharge is always those cards are always going to be lower tier cards. Um, I just feel like they're more accessible and
Yeah,
they're not going to be used like constantly.
yeah.
So I wouldn't mind that, but hey, it's all about adjustments, and they've been making adjustments to this esports year and year. So that I mean, just as us just nitpicking. But yeah, I'm trying to think. We got everything today, I think.
Well, we talked
Oh
about
no,
supercharged story.
yeah, we Story, we got Perez. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, and who made his debut over the weekend? And that was Ali Rutschman. It was good to see him. You know what was cool? The clip right before he took the first pitch where he circled around the stadium just to take it all in.
Yep.
It was like something out of the movie. Like he was just, and then he's like, "All right, here we go." I
Yeah,
thought
like let's
that
get
was
to
a
work.
pretty, yeah, that was pretty like a goosebumps type of moment. So I love seeing that. And for him being like a name that we knew about since he got drafted from Oregon. Um, he's always been this top prospect, and to finally for him to come up, it was kind of cool, and it gives you hype. And I feel like it gives even more hype when you're an MLB show player because, like we said, they tweeted out if he gets a hit or when he gets a hit, they'll supercharge the prospect series, not the 91 series card. Um, and they'll supercharge it. And what does he do? He hits a triple. Was it the first game or a second? Yeah, it was his first game. He hit a
First game, yeah.
triple down the right field, and got a triple. So that was pretty dope.
Yeah, I think it was a stand-up triple too. Could you imagine? Because I think
Yeah,
whoever was in right field
Brett
had
Phillips.
some
Yeah,
issues getting the ball up in the corner there. Could you imagine if he got an inside the park home run as his first big league hit? Like that would have broken
I'm
baseball
curious if
Twitter.
anyone ever got that before.
Yeah, that's a good like deep cut
First
type of question.
hit in MLB inside the park. Let's see if Google will do the honors here, but I doubt it.
Like plenty of people have had their first hit be a bomb, but an inside the park bomb, I don't even know.
No, I don't see it. No, you would had to do some digging, but that'd be kind of cool to find out.
Yeah.
If anyone did that. Uh, but either way, that was pretty dope. I didn't see that coming. And I believe it's for 5 days.
Yeah, they gave it to him for yeah, the 5 days. It's longer than just the typical 48 hours. And like you said, they did it on the prospect series, but they also didn't really have any other card to go off of. I don't think he has a live series yet. But
No,
yeah,
I'm waiting for his live series. I hope it's a bronze.
it'll probably
So I
be a
could use him.
silver.
Yeah, it probably will be, but still be a solid card to have, in BR eventually, and then if he plays good, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I hope they continue doing that. Maybe like whoever's like a top 100 prospect, and if they get called up, if they get a hit, they'll do the same thing. That'd be pretty dope. And it gets like for people that don't know him, and just like how the Future Star cards did for us previously, if you're new to the show and you're just getting to learn about these prospects, this is even another way to get to learn about them, and learn their name and figure out what team they belong to and get to play with their card. So I thought that was a fantastic. It's just Supercharged has been absolutely the best addition to DD this year.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean, we got that, and then do we have anything else? We have the roster update coming on Thursday. Yo, Sandy, I'm just gonna say, Sandy. I can't say his last name. The Marlins pitcher who went down to be a silver. should never got downgraded, and ever since then, he's been having he has like a 2 point something ERA. He had a complete game, I believe, shutout the other night, so he should be back up to gold, after this roster update. I'm hoping my boy Pete, man, gets to diamond. I think he
Yeah, you think
does.
he's gonna do it?
I think he does. He's on a hot streak, man. He's having probably his best season so far as a Met. Even though his rookie year was unbelievable, but he's on the pace of have his best season so far. Um, so we'll see if, he goes diamond. Trying to think, dude, does where's Machado right now? He's at 88 or is he 90?
It's a great question. Machado is a 89.
He's going above 90.
Yeah.
This week has to. Um, with the way he's playing as well. Goldie should get an update as well.
Give you
His
another one
goals
here. Another
oh
one that was heavily teased in the stream. Probably Jazz.
oh, yeah, Jazz. Oh, how
It
about that, though? That's
That
funny
was
you bring
cool.
up Jazz. Yeah, so if you guys missed it, they brought Jazz to the studio, and he got to build his own 99 card, as you see other major league players get to have their own 99 card of themselves in their DD lineup, and they got to build Jazz. But now we get to see the template of it, right? We see I'm curious if they do that to any other players, like, "Oh, hey, you have 400 points, or do you want these cards?" Where do you want these points to be on your attributes? And I thought that was pretty cool.
That would be really cool.
So, but yeah, uh, I think that's it.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
there's
think we
anything
covered
else.
most of it. Like I said, we don't have monthly awards yet. We don't have
Do we get a new collection here, Cooks? While you go on vacation?
I don't think so. I think I might have lucked out because judging off of the calendar, it's a Thursday content drop. It's a holiday weekend. I can't imagine that they would drop something on Monday. Maybe tomorrow. There's still an opportunity for them to shake up
Would
the
you want to
schedule.
drop it on the? But wouldn't you want to drop it on the long weekend? Like,
I
oh, I
think
got
you would,
oh,
which is why I find it interesting that they haven't said anything about it. But I feel
maybe it's
like
just a secret.
maybe I feel like they would have said something by now though. But tomorrow the calendar will probably be upgraded and we'll probably see something on there. But yeah, Mariano, we got it Memorial Day weekend last year, and
Yeah.
the game came out 2 weeks later than it did this year. So we're
Oh, I didn't even think
behind
of that.
on when we're a
Yeah,
collection. So yeah, I don't know, man.
that'd be
And,
pretty
and
dope.
speaking of that, as Scuffy said, I will not be here next week. If you guys are listening to Inside the Show next week, I will not be on. We might try to get a somebody to fill in for my role next week, but I'm going to New York. Going to go catch a Mets game, Mets and
Yeah.
Phillies Sunday night baseball, and then my Angels are actually rolling into town, and they're going to be playing the Yankees on Tuesday night, and I believe Scuffy and I will be at that game together. So,
How
um,
ironic. Be a Yankee game, not the Met game, but I won't be around
yeah,
for the
yeah,
Met
yeah.
game.
So
I'm excited though. I am. I was telling you before, like, what we had this discussion last time I went to a Yankee Met game. It was Otani pitching, and then he gets rocked in the first inning, so I didn't really get to see him. Never seen Trout live, so please, Trout, stay healthy.
that's
Stay
true.
healthy, bro. Just
And
stay healthy for another week.
And if it's the Tuesday game, I think if everything stays the way it is,
Don't tell
uh,
me.
what?
Don't tell me Otani's pitching.
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
Noah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Syndergaard in New York. I know it's not against the Mets, but still, like
Mhm.
that's gonna be kind of fun. Assuming, as far as I know, everything should line up for that.
Okay.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen Noah pitch plenty of times, so it'd be dope to see him again. Um, I was looking into something. I was like, I I want to rerun for the Angels, right? So I was like, look at what can I get, and I was thinking getting a Ryan Schimpf like T-shirt or jersey. Like what goes together, like the glitchy squad. But I couldn't find anything on that. But
Oh man,
I'm excited though. I am excited. I want to see Trout so bad, and I want to see Trout just hit bombs. I don't even care if he hit bombs. I just want to know that I've seen the best player. Well, him and Itani, I mean, kind of rival the best player. Um, but yeah, I want to see him live, so can't wait.
sweet.
Yeah,
Gonna be
and
fun, man.
then yeah, it's gonna be fun. You're gonna enjoy City Field, man. I'm telling you, eat a lot of food there. There's a lot of good food over there. In Yankee Stadium, they had the infamous bucket. of fries and tenders. It's like goes for like 20 something bucks and gives you like 8 tenders and with whole like a bucket of fries, that are really good. Can't think of anything else, but City Fields, where is that? Yeah, I really want to know when in like 2 weeks' time, I'm going to hear like I want to hear the differences between what you like between City Field and Yankee Stadium and vice versa. So that's gonna be a segment we're gonna have to talk about.
Yeah, both those stadiums are near the top of my list of places I want to go to. So I'll be taking it all in.
Yeah, yeah. So, but Cougs, we'll miss you definitely next week. But you'll be back here. Maybe by the time, don't wait. They'll be like, "Yo, Cougs is going away. Let's wait at least one more week. Let them enjoy the 2 ballparks and come back, and then you get a full amount of grinding once you get back home and
That's true. I'll
see who it
probably have
is."
some stuff to catch up on for sure.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Because we got new ranked seasons next week. I think.
Yeah, I got to try to see if I can make World Series before I head out. I'm not even in the 800s yet, so I got a long week
That's
ahead of
what
me.
that's what I'm trying to do once we get up there. I'm gonna try to get my bronze squad to World Series, see if I could do it. I got up to
Godspeed.
735 with them.
Nice. That's pretty
Yeah,
good for a
not
bronze. It gets tough on Hall of Fame with those dudes.
it gets yeah, the qualifier helped me now because now seeing Legend, I feel much more confident on Hall
That's
of Fame
good.
when I didn't feel confident at all on Hall of Fame, but now I do. So the qualifier definitely helped me.
I just
Yeah,
pray that
last
you
year
don't face Dallas Keuchel because he is impossible to hit.
Dude, how oh, wow, you had to mention that name every time.
He's
Every time
so
I
good.
got on the cusp of because I've been up and down between Hall of Fame and All Star, but to see every time I see try to get a cusp of it, try to get back, it's Keuchel.
He's
I
so
rather
tough.
face Randy than Keuchel.
I'm saying I'm not okay. So I'm not crazy. I would rather face Randy than Keuchel at this point in time. I can't hit him.
Yes, yeah, and it's funny. It's like literally last night, me and my 2 buddies, we boot up co-op, and I'll tell you, co-op when working is the most fun I ever have at this game, win or lose. I hope they get that fixed soon. I really do because it took us forever to get a game. It took us more time to get a game than play the game, which says a lot. But anyway, we played one game, and of course, this is the one game we're facing Kaiko, right? The dude had a perfect game, 8 to 2/3 against us. We were just lost,
It's
absolutely
he's
lost at
so
the plate.
tough.
Luckily, I was able to get a single with Chris Bryant, but we lost. No, we lost. We lost 2-1 because we were making a comeback, and then one of my buddies went over second too much when base running, so he got picked back off when trying to go back to second when we had the time to run. But yeah, Keiko was just, dude, he's rough, man. And
Yeah,
it's
he's
funny, he
he's
doesn't
brutal.
throw hard.
No,
Doesn't throw. It's
it's
just
the
his
break.
mix.
It's the
Yeah.
break. That's that I
Oh,
figured it out. The break is the difference because his cutter doesn't look like any other cutter, and his sinker doesn't look like any other sinker. The way the pitches
yeah,
move off his hand, I cannot hit him.
yeah. But I kinda like how it's the 92 overall that's giving us this fits, right? So it just shows you once again, overalls really are overrated. If you
Yeah,
have a certain amount of attributes towards your player and, like, that break of his sinker, I mean, anything's gonna be successful with that,
he's a
so,
stud.
uh, yeah, Keiko's world now.
Yeah, we're just
Would you
living
put
in it.
him would you put him at that level yet? Like,
Uh,
of, like, the Kluber, Cabrera
no, 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 no.
level?
I wouldn't.
I'd say
That's a
he's, like,
different
1 or 2
ballpark.
below. Yeah, I say he's, like, 1 or 2 below.
Yeah,
Um,
he's
I don't
very
think we
tough.
I don't think we truly got, that type of pitcher yet in this game, which is probably good.
Well, I
Even
mean, it
Randy
would probably be Randy, but like not enough people
y
have Randy.
yeah, exactly. No, that's why I'm saying, like, you don't see Randy every other game, unless you're playing like, we did last Saturday with the qualifier because you're gonna have the top guys going at it, but,
Yeah.
um you don't see a Randy like every other game. It's gonna be someone that's attainable, very attainable through the program or stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who's gonna be that pitcher eventually. But right now, I agree. Keiko is absolute stuff. It's the lefties, man. It's just the lefties this year. There's something going on.
Which is good
Um,
because all the best pitchers last year were righties. So I'm happy for the little change of pace.
And we do have to give it a shout out before we get off. Roy Halladay getting his 106 H per 9 too. So that was good to see.
Higher than Randy.
Um,
And hey, shout out to Roy Halladay's son for getting
yes,
him the 1 of 1 superfractor card. That was awesome.
I thought that's pretty dope. And that's not the first time with the Philly son. I mean, Philly player's son. We talked about the Ryan Howard's son doing the same
Yep.
thing for his car, the cover
Super
edition.
cool.
So you love that. I mean, that's pretty dope, man. To play with just, play for your pops like that. To just sit
Gotta
back,
be kind of a
play
surreal
for
feeling.
it has to be. It has to be. So it's always brings a smile to like the community's face. And it's just um now I just need, David Wright's, daughter just, start playing him with the show and try to get him in the game. So, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, Cougs, I bid you farewell for this week and next. You have a fantastic trip. We'll meet up on Tuesday. We'll talk all about it when you get back for 2 weeks from now, and, yeah, just enjoy your time over there, man.
Sweet. I appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting up and watching a game, and hopefully the Angels take a W out there.
That'll do us for this week on Inside the Show. Be sure to hit us a follow on Twitter, Inside the Show PC. Once again, twitter.com/Inside the Show PC. We're on YouTube as well, youtube.com/Inside the Show. If you're watching right now, be sure to hit a thumbs up on today's video. You can follow my boy Cougs at Cougs46 on Twitter. You'll find all socials there. I'm at Scuffy Me. I'm going to roll with this because I'm watching this many times. You're listening. I'm at Scuffy McGee TV. You guys have fun grinding this week. Hope your investments go diamond this week as well if you're investing. And we'll talk about all about it next week. Peace out, guys.